Okay, 10 May, Wednesday. Okay, so far so good. Let's take a look at gold. Now this is gold yesterday. I said if it breaks out and then pulls back into an astro hour, I said you could go long, and I said this was going to be a target. It should fill it out, and it has filled it out. If you also sold here, you should not be stopped out and should be in profit, because the stop loss needed to be above the purple zone, and you should be down here by now in profit in the Asia session. Now, I filled out the astro hours for today. So as you can see, the market bounced off, goes to the astro hour, they sell it off, comes back to the astro hour right here, goes up. This is also an astro hour, slight pull down, but you can see that was the exciting zone. Yesterday I mentioned, I said there would be sudden push moves happening, and that's the time when that happened. As you can see, that was the 5 o'clock, right? When New York was opening between 4 and 5, that's your 4:15, and that's your, whoops, 5 o'clock there, okay? So which is pretty much 4:20 to 5 o'clock, I said here, right? Okay, 4:20 to 5 o'clock. And once that aspect was over, okay, then, okay, basically market went up to the target, and that was a nice retracement. You can see coming from one astro hour to the other astro hour, as you can see. So nice and easy. All right, so today let's take a look. Let's take a look at the daily again, because the daily setups are going to change. All right, so now we've got the support right here. This is going to be a strong point, 51.85, which is 2013.44. So the market coming down to 2013 right into here is a possibility. Okay, and that is going to be your PST level. Now this, how to take care of this. This is an indecision bar there. We're on the 15-minute chart, by the way. So I'm going to take that, and I'm definitely going to put it with the PST level here. I'm going to mark it in like this. Okay, so that's one zone. All right, that's that. On the daily, okay, so I'm going to get rid of this and rid of this. Let's see what's going on. The other level is, well, that's it. The other one is on the upper side of things, on the 73, which is 2,102. That is a bit far out. Okay, 2,102, so we're not going to talk about that until we get at least to 2,055. And that 72, as you can see, is 2,055. So on the weekly, we still have that zone, which is a probability and a possibility. Okay, so what to do? These are the astro hours for today. This zone here is okay to go long. Remember, Monday was a swing day for gold, right? Remember, on Monday, I said Monday is a swing day. So the possibility of us continuing to go up towards the next swing day is logical, right? So if the market comes back down, okay, the daily and slightly lower, we're okay to go long with this one. Why? Because of this little gap here. So the market can, in this zone, go long, okay, to a higher target there. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, right? Because the trend is kind of going up. Well, it's a short-term trend in any case, but we could still be going upwards. Now, the reason this is a little, you got to be a little tricky, is because we've got level at the downside and on the upside. So you've got to keep that in mind, all right? A good buying spot is here, because like you can see, we've got two lines intersecting here with a price tag on it, which is good. And if the market wants to carry on going up, it could do that. Okay, not a problem. So buying at the astro hours to go up here on the weekly down here is okay. If you want to sell, this is how you got to sell. The market comes up into an astro hour, and then you can do that. Now today is the 10th, and a better place to do that is going to be towards lunchtime or New York session in the morning. Okay, and that should be it. Once we decipher the direction, then the market should follow through until closing again, going into the Asia session. All right, so that's how you could pan it out. So if you sold from yesterday, that's great. Make sure you cover the trade. If you bought from yesterday, you should have taken profit here, obviously. All right, and if you sold from here, you should cover your trade. There is a bit of a gap here, so the market's got potential to come down. There's also trend line liquidity down here, so the market pushing down is also very logical. If I do this, as you can see, all right, so the market coming down, taking some liquidity from the weekly or from the gap here to go back up is logical. What you also have to do is to put it like this. Okay, there's also trend line liquidity here. All right, and that means the market can come down here to go up or break down and then push up. Okay, so all of these from the weekly is also logical. So what you want to do is don't muck around in the mid zones. The daily pivot, the weekly pivot, they're okay to go long at Astro hours, and this level also 2013. All right, 2013-14 zone. If the market goes up first, you can sell it off as well and push it downwards. You can trade both sides there. So that's basically it. And yesterday, as you can see, it worked out pretty well. So wait for those setups to happen and then trade it off. Euro dollar. Now this is the euro dollar, right? So yesterday this was the Astro hour. As you can see, the market went up just below our opening. It just shattered down this zone. I said you got to be careful about this zone. As you can see, once again the market broke down here. Now you should have guessed it was going to break down because of this infringement of the purple zone that I drew. Okay, because it should have been in fact this there, right? It should have been right under there because this is the last manipulation before the push up here. So I said this level here was important. As you can see, as soon as it broke below, it closed below it. It's just a sign of weakness happening here. So the market sold all the way back down here into the Astro hour. Look at that. And we had a target of 1.0955 yesterday as well, if you recall. Now today, let's take a look. Today, that is a good buy kiss happening right here on the price, which is 49, which is 1.0980 on the price. So 1.0980, there you are. All right. So this is going to be a sell zone. Okay. How do you figure that out as well? Because that is the last manipulation here, right? There is a slight gap there, so the market can do a sweep, take out the stops which are above this line, which is logical, so be mindful. Okay, the market should come up into this zone 1.0980. From a price perspective, 1.0991, 1.0991 is there. Well, that's pretty precise. Okay, as you can see, it's right there. So this zone is going to be obviously a zone where we want to be selling further down. To go where? To go into this zone here, 38 and 40, which is 1.0911, 1.0894. So 1.0911 1.0911, 0894 is going to be there. 1.0894. All right. So got that target zone, and that's pretty much done. The market should come down again. All right. So let me just refresh that so we get that daily period happening here. This is going to be a sell zone. Be mindful about that. That's your manipulation zone here. So when it comes up here, don't rush into stuff. Am I expecting a surprise move today? Yes, and I am expecting it from 6:45 until 8:30. So once a push happens, the market should continue to go in that direction, right? So the market starts selling here. Okay, let's say in the New York session, we've got, like in the opening at 3:45 my time, let's say we've got like a level here, all right? And then the market should make a push. If it breaks out, we'll go up. If it slides down from here, we should go down, and I'm expecting the market should reverse and make a swing, okay? And that you should check out at 3:45 my time, which I'm going to be noting on the members area. Okay, so as you can see, understanding where we're going to go is really critical here. On the daily also, this last level is 53, which is 1013. It's worth putting on there because it's the PST level on the resistance side of things, and that will give us this zone here. Okay, so this we'll keep an eye out for as well. Why is that also a possibility? Because we're expecting sudden moves in the market. A push up into that zone will force us to sell in the Asia session tomorrow at 3 a.m. my time, which I'm going to note as well. All right, so be mindful. Okay. So selling from this zone at Astro Hours New York opening is not a bad idea at all. You can push the market further down, and by the time it gets down here, we should be in the Asia session somewhere down here. If it decides to break out, then the next sell level is going to be here, and this is what we need to be selling in the Asia session. All right, so let's take a look at US 30. Now with the US 30, this is yesterday. As you can see, I marked that level in yesterday, that purple shade. All right. That's obviously an understanding of technical analysis and how we do things at the Global Trader Club. I told you to be careful for this zone. Look how beautiful that came in right here. Now this, as you can see here, is 230, all right, which is exactly what we had yesterday, right, between 1240 and 230. So you see we're in this zone from 1240 to 230, and that is how the market just started going up from there, nice and easy. All right, and that's basically the place where the market was giving us the change. All right, and then it goes up to the Astro Hour once again. Okay, so the market goes into the Astro Hour, into that purple zone, touches it, bang, down once again, retests, comes down again. So if you've been selling around this zone, it's fine. It's also right on the weekly pivot here. There was a bit of a gap here, but I also took that range from here, as you can see. Actually, this should be right on top of that there. So the market tests it, retests there, selling off. Now, as you know, we want to sell the Dow, we want to sell the indices. Yesterday with the SP 500, I said, oh, that's not good because we had an we had a PST, sorry, breakout. So let me just refresh this. Now, if you take a look at today, this is right on the support of the PST, which is 49, and that's the price of 33,546, which is right where the market bounced off. 546 is there. All right, so this is the zone here, and that's your Asia session right there starting, and this is going to be the low. If the market goes below this, which I think it probably may do, okay, what we want to do is, remember on the Dow Jones, right? Look out for the swing days. If we go up tonight, we want to be selling. All right, in the New York session, if we're up somewhere in this zone or up here, we want to sell. But same setup as yesterday's SP 500. And last thing I want to do is stand in front of a PST breakout. So with the Dow Jones, we're going to have to be careful. Okay. Technical analysis wise, I'd like to go down. PST point of view, this is a breakout, and this might go up. Okay, so it's a bit tricky. All right, so take caution here. And if you're going to do anything with the Dow Jones, I'd say do it with a smaller lot size. And if it definitely breaks below this 33,545, then, you know, think about selling on the pull up to go down. This is the low off yesterday. Anything below this and the market closes, you should sell on the retracement to push it further down. That level is on the cards, but it's too far down at 32,840. Okay, it's just too far down, okay, as you can see. So these are the zones we've got to keep in mind. If you want to sell, you can. If you want to buy, you can at Astro hours. But if it breaks below this, then, you know, I'd rather sell. And obviously the weekly pivot, they've been, you know, keeping this pretty steady. This line here, as you can see, since Monday as Tuesday. So selling in this zone, if it comes back up, takes out the stops, is not a bad idea. All right, these are even highs here, as you can see. This is a nice sweep, taking out the stops just above there, cleaning them out, pushing it down again. So you're going to have to be careful with this one. I don't like it when there's a PST breakout and I'm thinking about selling. All right, so you might just want to wait and see what happens today on this one. Let's take a look at SP 500, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. Now, remember with SP 500, I said yesterday, the daily PST has a breakout, so I don't like selling it, just like the Dow Jones scenario here today. So I said you might want to leave that one alone for the moment. So let's see what happened. All right, so here's SP 500. Now, as you can see, we still have a breakout on the price and the market is still above that line. You see, this is why I don't, you know, pretty much like it. But you can value now financial astrology. See how nicely the market pretty much crashed down. And if you take a look at the hours from yesterday, you'll find that 12:40 my time is there. Okay, that's 2:30. I said 2:30 yesterday. I said 12:40 yesterday. So you're right in that zone here, 12:45, 2 o'clock, 2:30 here. And then we had 4:20 to 5 o'clock. Now look at this. This is 4:30. That's 4:20 here. From 4:20 to 5 o'clock. And that's your 5 o'clock. So you see how nicely the market is just staying loyal to financial astrology. You know, they're selling at the tops, the stars do their thing, the market stops and bounces up. And as you can see, that is 9:15. And as you can see, that is 9 o'clock. And remember yesterday we had 9 o'clock. We had 9 o'clock and then I had 11:15. This is your 11:15 there, right on, once again, the PST levels. Okay, so I did say be careful about this zone. If you sold up here, you would have been okay as well, because I did say if it kind of crashes down and starts breaching this level here, okay, then, you know, you could sell as well. But this was like nice to go. All right, so what to do now? You can see the market is a bit indecisive at the moment. Now, SP 500 swing day was yesterday. All right, so this swing here is like logical. So can we expect the market to break it down? Well, question. All right, so what we're going to do is make an adjustment. And this will be our adjustment today. Okay. If the market goes up today, okay, in the New York opening, if it goes up in the New York opening, then, you know, reversal around that 3:45, 4 p.m. zone is not a bad idea. So if I was to stick a line here at 15:45, it's going to be there. See, it's good to know these things before they happen, because you can just chill out. You know, you don't have to be stuck in front of the computer, because you know when you're going to do something, if you're going to do it at the right price. So now you've got free time to go to the gym or whatever. Now, after that, obviously, it's going to be a series of times which is going to push the market. When it starts to push the market, once you ascertain that direction, it should either push it down or take it up. Once again, here we've got a tricky situation because we're above the line. So the support is critical, which is 49, and that's a price of 4,108. If the market is going to come down, it needs to come down here. All right, so you could sell it down to here, 4,108. All right, let's do that. 4,108 into there. All right, so selling down is not a bad idea. On the weekly, we should still be in that push down, okay, to go down. And that's basically how we should pan it out. Now you can see here on the daily, there is a bit of a gap up here, okay, the market can still head to. But that is so far out that for me to change my idea about selling it, we're going to have to do a rash movement. If you want to buy at an astro hour down here at 4,108, it's doable. All right, just below it though, be careful, there is the gap. All right, and the market often comes down, it'll sweep it in, take out and fill in the gap and then push up. All right, so be mindful. I'm going to get rid of this. This is the new zone. All right, and that's the gap there. So I'm in favor of selling if the market goes up in the opening, to sell down at astro hours, because the market should come back down here eventually. Okay, and why not sell it? Because because of the gap. So we're in a bit of a dilemma, as you can see. On the one hand, we have a PST breakout on the daily, okay, which is tricky. On the other hand, we have a target down here with a gap down here, which the market can nicely fulfill. And we could play both sides. So if the market goes up first, selling is the better option in the New York morning session. Okay, and in between no man's land, don't muck around. Okay, because otherwise it's just going to get traumatic. Where do you want to go if you want to sell? Well, one of the levels is going to be this one here, right, where that manipulation happened before the breakdown. And that is this bar, which is nicely crouching with this daily level here. And that's fine. So if the market goes up into this zone, okay, it's okay to be selling from this zone. Just wait for a confirmation on the smaller time frame, simply because of this little tricky bar here with the gap. Okay, I didn't want to extend it all the way into here with the gap, because it's a bit big, as you can see. But for the for the sake of the exercise, I'll hold it here like this. And what have I got here? I've got this zone here. All right. So okay, for the benefit of the exercise, I'll keep it a bit big, but you know what I mean. All right. So when we head up here, you can wait for your confirmation. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Now this is the daily, as you can see, we're nicely embedded here. That gap I've marked in before, so the market could still do a bit of a push up for us. This week, selling from the highs is not a bad idea, in my opinion. Okay, and next week as well. Okay, the market may be at levels where we'd love to be selling them. Okay, if they're still at the highs here. So in my opinion, selling in retracements in these upper zones is the way to go, and the market should then go into a nice retracement, coming quite low actually. This is why I'm keen on selling the highs on the indices. So let's take a look. On the daily, you see we've got that 62 level, which is 13,303. 13,303 is, as you can see here, which is the high of Monday. All right, and this is us on Wednesday. These are the astro hours yesterday. As you can see, the market came down. The technical level yesterday were here and here. As you can see, that is your indecision bar. Okay, I don't draw everything on everything, because the Global Trader Club is for those who've taken the course mostly. All right, so you guys understand what we're talking about here. All right. Now, I also anticipate the market should come down for NASDAQ. So selling it is not a bad idea at all if the market goes up. So at Astro Hours, if we go up, or next week if we go up as well, we should just be selling from the highs, okay? And that's what we'd like to do. So on the weekly as well, this zone you can see nicely dropping down. 63 is 13,327. 13,327 is there. All right, so I'd love to see it come up to sell off, but I'd be a seller in any situation if the market retraces up at Astro Hours to sell down. Like I said, 3:45, 4 o'clock is your zone. Bitcoin. Now I said from these levels you can buy yesterday. Why? Because Bitcoin's swing day was Tuesday. And look at Tuesday, right? Here we are, right? So I said if it comes back down, you can go long, and how nicely it came down here to go long, right? So if you're doing intraday trading, I don't do crypto intraday trading. So when did that happen? If you take a look at this, this is 650, okay? I didn't have anything at 650 there. So this bar here is at 720, which I didn't have anything here either. So the only thing you could have done probably was this one here, okay, when the market dipped down into this zone at 505, okay, and that's the 505 bar, or you would have bought it on the white line here, all right, and that's basically it, all right. So I didn't have anything, as you can see, at 7 o'clock. The other thing I had was 9 o'clock here. 9 o'clock here is there. Here you wouldn't have done anything because you're in no man's land. This is the daily pivot for today, and in the middle of nowhere you're not going to do anything. So if you went with yesterday's recommendation, you would have bought on the white line, okay? If your stop loss was too tight here, obviously you would have been stopped out, but proper management would have said, listen, if you're going to go long here, you're going to put your stop loss just under there. And that is a big, big gap. Okay, so basically, or the other option was if you bought here, put your stop loss under the low of Asia, and here you would have been stopped out. But if you learned technical analysis from me, you would have already had an idea. Why? Because of the even lows. All right, and it's obvious that it's highly likely you're going to get swept out here. So a lot of people have problems with their technical analysis because they don't know where to put their stops. You've got to keep these in mind. So with Bitcoin, I've got no other additional thing to say. If the market goes up, we should be looking to sell, okay, also next week as well. I said this is going to break. Okay, in my humble opinion, we should come back down here or even lower into this zone. All right, I am expecting a big discount in the markets coming into next year. All right, so yeah, if you're buying and holding, make sure you buy the lows and then hold. As you can see, this is a sensitive location. It will break. Okay, this will break. So be mindful. So if you wanted to, trade safe, I'd be selling on the highs and pushing it down. Okay. Now with Bitcoin, as you can see, the daily is too far out there. That's 58 being 29,830. So 29,830 is way, way, way up there. So if it comes back into this range here at Astro Hours, you can sell it off. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, because that's the impulse wave down and the market's going sideways. So you'll want to look at selling the market in this zone. Okay, and that's what they did yesterday. Right there. Why? Because that is your impulse. Okay, so market going sideways, selling the highs is not a bad idea. If you see equal highs, just make sure you understand that you could get swept out. This is why astrological hours are important.